She would say the same thing of me.
But where you as two alien races are sharing insights on humanity, and which is some of the stuff that Trek does best, and I thought really gave Jolene an opportunity to do some excellent acting, which she didn't always have the chance on the show. And I'm wondering if you can share any kind of thoughts, memories about some of the scenes you did with Jolene.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Obviously, I do think that's one of the things that Star Trek always did, is they allow the alien creatures to serve the mirror. You know, you would see humanity reflected through an alien point of view. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to get to play those scenes with Jolene. There's one in particular, I think an episode in which my character is wrestling with a medical ethics question. Should he insist on saving the life of another being, even though that species doesn't want to be saved? And we had a lovely mess hall scene, and I loved the scene. Unfortunately, and I'm not being flip, but this is one of the ongoing problems we had on Star Trek. They are very meticulous about their soundtrack. They don't like any noise at all. And so that shot was on a long dolly track, and the camera's on a track, and it's going around, and it's a beautiful image. And unfortunately, the final composition was us playing this beautiful scene. Both of us had to come in and do the whole scene again in additional dialogue recording rooms, so that happened a lot. They are very, very persnickety, overly so if you ask me. My opinion was always a little mess is a good thing, some overlapping dialogue, a little extraneous background noise, people dropping dishes, the way it happens in real life, you know. That's actually what I rather liked about the premise of Enterprise, is that it was messier. Things broke, we bumped into each other, we had arguments, we didn't always get along perfectly. It was the beginning of the exploration, and I'm digressing obviously, but for my money, one of the things that they could have pushed a little harder is the idea that we were really learning how to be the sort of perfected man that Star Trek argued we sort of eventually became. So along with that, stylistically, I would have liked to see the show reflect some of that in the way it was shot. Anyway, I digressed, but that's my nature.
Hi, I have a question for both of you. It's the same question, but first I wanted to thank you for being so nice to me on Friday night. I happened to run into you. I was in costume as R2-D2 and you were totally cool.
Oh, you were great. I was going to say, I love the butterfly look today. That's cute.
Okay.
This is an extraordinarily nice guy, I gotta say. And I'm not paid to say that.
Thanks.
And my question for both of you is, by the time Enterprise came along, the Star Trek community was really well established, and the two of you were at different points in your career. And I was wondering what you had heard of what the experience was going to be like to be on a Star Trek show, and then how that ended up for you, what you thought of the whole experience. Was it explained to you? What did you know about it? Because I can understand how the first couple series, they wouldn't have been prepared at all, but I'm imagining you might have been slightly...
By series 5, yeah, we had heard a couple of things.
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah, I think you would have to have grown up in an isolation chamber to not be aware of the cultural impact of Star Trek, and one intuits as an actor that you're now going to be part of that universe and it's going to change your life, which it has, and I have to say, in nothing but a wonderful way. You know, it's been incredible. One, it was a great show. Two, it was a great cast. And I can't tell you what a nice guy Anthony is. Not as nice as he was last time, but he's still nice.
$25 this guy just got out of me, Josh.
Anthony, you're a fantastic guy.
All right, and she asked the question. Thanks for No, that's for you.
I'll give it to him later. Make sure you see me about that 5. And then finally, you know, the ramifications above and beyond the fact I loved the character. You know, I mean, probably more than any other character I've played, the character that's probably closer to who I really am. I play a lot of perverts and weirdos and, you know, serial killers, and oh my God, I've killed so many people. So to actually get to play somebody who was essentially optimistic, who had a spiritual outlook, but wasn't heavy-handed about it, yada, 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 all that was heaven. And then the weirdest thing, of course, which you're prepared for, is the fact that you have, for the rest of your life, one, a ticket to travel the world.
Yeah.
Which is, of all the things, it's like if somebody comes to you and says, for the rest of your life, you can go all around the world, be greeted at the airport by people who love you, get a guided tour of every cool place you go, and at the end of the day, go home with some money in your pocket. I mean, my God, nothing else has to happen in life except that. You know, aside from the wonderful people I've had a chance to meet, to get to go see New Zealand and Australia and Israel and Germany and England and Scotland, and I'm going to Prague and Atlanta and Kissimmee, Florida. Oh my God, Kissimmee. I cannot say enough about Kissimmee.
Kissimmee.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So yes, it was an incredible gift, and I did know what I was getting into, and I, you know, bring it on. The Rubberhead, not so much.
I followed it, obviously, the original series, but I wasn't an avid Trek fan, and so I didn't know about all the other shows. I was just auditioning because I was a broke actor. I needed a job, and the show didn't even have a title. It was just an untitled Star Trek series that they were doing. I went in for the audition, and when I got the job, everybody said, oh my God, but what about the Trekkies? So it was more, I was warned against the fans by people that know nothing about the fans. That's what I've actually learned over the years, is most of the people that kept saying, but they do this and they're so this and they're so that. Every Star Trek fan, with the exception of a couple of cats, have been absolutely nothing but kind, respectful, embracing, loving, supportive, engaging.
We don't have that much
of everything that I've done. So for me, it was a lot of fun. And
That's $5 from everybody. You understand?
the line forms to the left.
I'll start collecting it. You keep talking.
It was just so much fun, and coming from Indiana, all I told my grandmother and my mother, who were terrified for me to go to La La Land with all these freaks out there, not Star Trek fans, the freaks of everyday Los Angeles living. I said, I'm going to go to Hollywood, and I'm going to work on film, and I'm going to work in television, and I'm going to do our family proud. So when I got the job and I was able to do that, the fact that I get an extended family, I've got 4 more brothers, I've got 2 sisters, it's amazing, and it's an experience that I could never and would never replace for anything in the world, truly. And I know I get a little soapy sometimes, just because that's just the person I am. I wish I had his rapier wit. Seriously, this guy is so funny, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Okay, wait, I didn't even, I got extra money. How do I know? John, I've never been really the greatest improv guy, so you give me the scripted work and I will bring it to life, because that's what I do. I admire the Wayne Brady's and Drew Carey's and John Billingsleys of the world that can just on a dime make you go in all these places. So for me, it's just fun. And thank you guys. Yes, sir. Hold on, I gotta get some. I can't even Oh, really? I get 50 cents. Just 2 flipping nickel. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Blame it on the travel.
Shut up! Hey, Cookie Monster.
I was going to win a Pulitzer Prize. It's like, I had to write him a check for $100.
Did you guys
Here?
I said Nobel.
That's a 50. I ain't giving you a 50 even if I win the Nobel.
Monster. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.